Oh, battery's low. Ah, I have to get my jumper pack. Hello everyone, welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle, and today we're going to be working on the 1984 Virago 1000. I still got a couple more things to do to it before I can put it back on the road. I got to change the back tire, do an oil change, an oil filter, change the air filter, although I hope I got the right one. I'm not quite sure about that, we'll see. I'll start by warming the bike up. We'll drop the oil and let that drain out while I take the rear wheel off and stuff, and change out the tire, and then kind of go from there. You might hear some extra grunts today. I'm kind of dealing with a bladder infection, so it hurts to squat down. A little more grunting than usual. The usual grunts are fairly authentic too. I have a disease in my spine that causes pain every time I lean forward or squat down or something. I know it's kind of hard to watch, but yeah, it's just if I don't keep moving, my spine's gonna stiffen up for good. So, but it is painful at times. But the show must go on, so we're gonna keep moving forward on this, and not gonna let that stop me. So. Anyways, shall we get started? Alright, I'll do a cold start here and just kind of warm this thing up. See how she starts up here. Alright. Oh, battery's low. I have to get my jumper pack. Got my handy little jump pack here. This thing just comes in handy. I hope it's charged up. I haven't used it in a while. Alright, so I just got the battery kind of sitting out. And I'll hook these up. Grip on there. Okay. Time for a new battery. So I'll let that just warm up for a couple minutes, and then we'll shut it off. Okay, that's probably warm enough now. I'll shut that off. It's warmed up for about 3 minutes. And now we'll get under here. Okay. Is that 19? Yeah. Alright, so 19 mil for this. And let's just see how tight she is. Oh yeah. Oh, come on. That's tight. Oh yeah. That's tight. Right, so now we can turn it back on. We'll get the little thing underneath there. Hard to do this with one hand and hold the camera. There she goes. Okay. That looks fairly normal so far. Actually doesn't look that old. Alright, so here's the magnet here. So here's the magnet. It's not a whole lot on there. Very fine material, if any. So that's good. Huh. Yeah, no big chunks or anything. I'll check the oil when I get it out. But I don't hear anything dropping out. So that's all good. Should be good in there. This motor runs really good when it's running. It sounds really good. Like there's no like clickety clacks or weird tickings, or there's no ticks to it or anything. It's pretty nice. So right down in here, there's 3 bolts holding this little cover on, which I believe to be the oil filter in behind here. I haven't actually got this one out yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be behind door number 2. All right, take note of that. This bolt is quite a bit longer than the other one. Let's see what this one's like. This one's different too. It's thicker. It's got a fatter head on it. They're all 3 bolts are different. Here, look at this one. There we go. There we go. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Let's see what we got. I'll take a clean rag and see if we got any metal in here. A little bit. There's a little bit in there. Right there. No big chunks though. Okay, so I'll just let that drain for a bit. Just gonna have a look at these bolts. So this little one went up here. This long one with the thicker shank or shoulder here, the narrow threads, went on the bottom. It's also got a fatter head on it too. Look at that. And then this one's just longer, like the small one. So it went here. So there, and there. Like that. So I'll leave those out, let that drain. And I thought I heard something drop out when like a spring maybe or something. I'll have to look into that. I'll check the oil and make sure there's nothing in the bottom of the pan. But when I pulled this off, I thought I heard something drop down, so could be a washer or a spacer or something. But I'll be checking that shortly. I just set the camera down over here so it's more still. So this is the first time I've taken off a shaft driven back wheel like this. I don't know how that is, but I made it this far without, you know, taking one of these off. Most of the ones I've taken off are all chain drive, but it looks fairly simple. This whole hub here, like you pull, like you gotta undo all this stuff and get it loose, so when you pull the axle, this will you can take this off, this spacer and this hub, and then that'll give you room to slide the wheel over and then out, if you know what I mean. So let's back this brake off. So this back brake adjuster comes right off. So we'll just take that retaining bolt out, and then this this here, hopefully you can see, this rod right here is like a stay rod that holds the back brake hub in place when you hit the brakes, so the whole hub doesn't turn around. And so you just got to remove it too. There's a little cotter pin here. Take that out, and then it's like the same size. It's like a 12. Sure. There we go. I just back this guy out, and he's got a nut, a lock washer, and a washer. Now keep that together because there's a certain amount of spacing, because this has to be able to kind of pivot and move in there slightly, so you don't want this pinched. You can pull it out the back side here. So it's a special looking bolt. It's got this thicker shoulder on it. It's got a hole through there for the cotter pin. It's got a kind of a flattened head on it. So we've got a special bolt there, so that should just go down out of the way like so. So now we're on the left side, and there's a cotter pin right here. Just take this and collapse it and make it so we can get this through. Tap that up. And there. Alright, so we'll blast that off. Just making sure it wasn't like a left-handed thread or something. Didn't want to be like tightening it and then have something get wrecked. Okay, so now that should punch through once I loosen off that pinch bolt. Okay, so this pinch bolt is pinching down on this end of the axle. So we'll just take it out. Got a flat blade screwdriver. I'm just gonna lightly just tap that in to spread that a little bit. You don't want to go crazy on it. And then the axle should come out. There, so I should be able to pull this out like so. The wheel stays on the drive hub, right? So you can get all this out. Now this, yeah, I just stepped on the brake and then that pulled the rod forward and then that moves out of the way. So now that the axle bolt is out, this is sitting on a set of splines. It's inside there and we got to kind of wiggle it off, and it's probably been on there a while. I might have to get my rubber mallet. Okay, so this is kind of stuck on there a bit. There she comes, there she goes. Yeah, it's just, she's just stuck on there. It's a little bit too much corrosion, I bet. So now it's loose. Just pop this off. Out she comes. Take this off. This just wants to come off anyways. Yeah, it's just a license plate was hanging down just a little bit. So yeah. So this here is kind of like a splined little fitting that fits into a drive spline here. It's just loaded up with grease, so that's good. It just was a little bit stuck on there. Just feeling the wheel bearing feels good there. That's good. Let's check this one. Yeah, feels alright. It's not loose. Okay. Yeah, so I probably won't run you through all of this, but I am going to try my my newly found trick on breaking the bead here. So we'll do that, and then I'll flip the what am I talking about? Yeah, we'll break the bead and then we'll swap the tire and bring you back. So all the air is out now, and we're gonna do our new technique. I don't know if I got enough slack for this or not. You take your jack like so, and you put your loops around the top like that, and I'll just start cinching it up a little bit. There we go. See that? Is that cool or what? Okay, so that's one side. So pop this off. And then flip the wheel over. We'll just do this on the other side. Let's try this now. There we go. She's popped. There. There. Yeah, backyard tire machine. Okay. So I've got the rim all cleaned up and looking a lot better than it was. Cleaned all the brake dust out of here, and I wire wheeled all around in the surface here where the bead seals against the rim. So that's all good to go. So now I just gotta check the rotation of the wheel here. So this is the drive side. So the wheel's going forward like that, and then I'm just gonna look at tire here and check for an arrow. Arrow. There's the arrow. Yeah, so there's an arrow right there pointing that way. So that would mean that's forward, like so. Okay, so we'll put that down like that. I'll spray this surface with some soapy water, just so I can get the tire on, like that. That went on fairly easy. Oh, that doesn't look like it's the right size. It's not. We got a 16 here. What's that? This is a 15. It's the wrong size. It's a 16. It's the wrong size. I just assumed it was the right size. Okay, well that's a problem. Hey, well I'm back. Yeah, that was weird. I had to go and run and get the proper tire size at the local bike shop here. Luckily, they had this this rim size, the 15. It's kind of a rare size. I walked into the shop and I told the guy, I said I got a bit of a dilemma. We got a new tire, but it's the wrong size, and he could tell by looking at it. He says, "Is that a 15?" And I said, "Yes, but I got a 16-inch tire that's the wrong size." And he's like, "Is that off of Virago 1000?" I said, "Yeah, it is, as a matter of fact." So that guy knew his stuff. So anyways, so we got ourselves a 15-inch tire. What is this one? It's a Shinko brand, which I think it's a pretty good brand. So yeah, here we go. 140, yeah, 140, 90, 15. So that's the proper size. So let's see which way the arrow's going. And let's see, where's the arrow? Okay, there's the arrow. So the arrow's pointing that way. So it goes on like so. So we'll spray this side down. And yeah, he ended up cutting me a deal for the tire. I got it for like 145 Canadian, which isn't too bad. And but it was a miracle that he actually had it in stock, because there's not too many bikes out there that take a 15-inch rear tire. So I was lucky. Right on. So that looks good. I'll get everything ready to put that back on. So I'm gonna pack this thing full of grease, just so it you know, it rides in there nicely and it doesn't rust together. So I'll put a bunch of grease on there like that, and I'll get my finger and kind of move it all around. There's this piece here, put some grease. It's like a spacer, and then yeah, so that gets all greased up. Inside is where that spacer goes, and we'll put the spacer back in there, like so. I cleaned up all this you know, dirt and stuff that was on here. So I'm just going to put some grease in here. There's a seal right here that keeps the grease in to the drive hub thing here. So you want to check that, make sure it's not like ripped or anything. This one appears to be good. Just looks like a really thick O-ring. So, and these wheel bearings, I had a look at them. They appear to be fine, and they've got these like like they kind of self-seal, like they're you can't pack them without picking out this piece. So we'll leave them till next time, and then maybe change them then. So yeah, that all like that. Okay, so now that the wheel's in place, I'll just put our brake hub on, and I'll try to sneak this by everything. Like so. I'll try to lift this up. There we go. There. I'm just trying to find the there we go. Okay. So now it's on the spline. We'll grease up this axle. Yeah, you always want to grease up your axles because they tend to rust and corrode in there. This will help slow that down. Okay, so then we'll put this through. We get our washer ready. Like so. We'll put this big washer back on, and then so before I tighten down the axle nut, I'm just gonna get this stuff on and rotate it, because I think when you tighten it down, this will stop moving. So I want to get this into place first. So I gotta feed this spring on, and then push the brake pedal down so I can get enough clearance to get that on. There we go. And then we'll start our special nut adjuster, and I'll get that started. And then there's a special bolt here. And I'll get some new cotter pins for this stuff when I get everything situated. So remember, this special bolt comes in from behind. Stabilizer bar, washer first, lock washer, then nut. And that takes a 12 mil. And then I can tighten the brake after. So now I can go over here and hit our castle nut, and I'll torque that in a sec, and we'll put a new cotter pin in there too. And then we got our axle pinch bolt right here. And these things, I like to put a little bit of grease on them just so they don't rust up. I probably get this one to about 8 wrist pounds, like that. Well, out there, I'd say. And then get off this extra grease that's everywhere. I'll go around and make sure this is all clean afterwards. Alright, just going to set the torque setting. What I found online was 72.5 foot-pounds of torque for this. So, yeah, oh yeah, actually we're a little over. Just gonna back that off a little bit. And there we go. Well, let's see if our hole lines up for gotta line the hole up there. There we go. Open that up like so. And then I've got one for that other hub stabilizer bar. Okay. New cotter pin going in. I'll just spread that around. Cut off the extra. There. Okay, and then yeah, just tighten up the brake. Maybe like that. Okay. There. Back wheel's looking pretty good now. That's awesome. Yeah, pretty happy with that. So now I just gotta go back, put the oil plug in. Yeah, so I'm just giving this a little wipe down. And just gonna clean this little copper washer off. I'll put the plug back in. Okay. I didn't find anything in the oil. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't think I dropped anything. Not that I can tell. I'm just gonna go grab the new oil filter. Oil filter. It's got, you know, this way and that way. It goes in like this, and it's got this special cap thing, so it goes deep in there, like so, because of this case, and then this kind of fills in that void, like so. Like that. So this makes the full bump out of the side there. So the little bolt goes in this one. So I'll take it down just so it touches, like so. And then this is a special bolt. It's got a big head on it and a thick shank. It was the one that goes on the bottom. And then this one's like a long one, but it's all the same size. There, now I'll tighten all that up. And you want to be careful not to over tighten these. You want them snug, but you don't want to snap them off. Okay, so I think that's good like that. Okay, before I forget, I was gonna change out this final drive oil here. So this is a 19 mil cap, and probably the same for the plug at the bottom. Let's take this one out first. And it looks like it's full. And then there we go. Okay, so I got this little container so I can get right up in here and not spill it on the wheel. That's the plan. And we'll just let that all drain out. It actually looks pretty clean. It doesn't look very old at all, so that's good news. So let that drain out. That looks like that about does it. Yeah, that's fairly clean oil actually, so that was recently changed. So tighten that plug up. Yeah, you can see in there, it's pretty clean oil in there. But I had no idea, so I thought we'd change it while we're at it here. So I'm just gonna top this up until it's full. Got some gear oil here. Alright, that's full. There we go. Yeah. Just let that equalize out for a minute. Kind of overfilled it, I think. It'll find its happy level. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that kind of settle for a bit, and then I'm just gonna fill up the engine oil, and we should be good to go. Okay, so this engine calls for 3.2 liters of oil at oil filter change, and I've got 3 liters here, so I'll stick them in there, and then I'll top it up as needed. Okay, so there's 3 liters, and put that on, and then I can go back to the final drive here and put the little cap back on. It's finished equalizing out here, finding its level. I'll just put that on. So that's got new oil, so that's great. There, a couple of wrist pounds there. There's some oil right there. I don't want to get on the tire. I think I already have, actually. Yeah, oh god. We'll clean that off best we can. Just trying to avoid that as much as possible, but okay, air filter. Okay, let's see. I can't remember exactly how this one comes apart. Remember, there's like a trick to it. I think you gotta take this off. Is there another bolt under here somewhere? Looks like you gotta take this whole boot off and everything. That seems kind of crazy. Seems kind of extreme to get all that off. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I forgot to mention I did balance the wheel off camera. I didn't show that, but I showed it on the other one how I did that. But it's just a simple static balance or whatever, however you call that. All right, let's see what's inside here. I can't remember how this thing comes apart. That's got to have something to do with it. Yeah, these are long bolts. Why are they so long? Come on. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now it does look like it needs to be getting changed. That's pretty nasty. Yeah, perfect. Okay, right on, I do have the right one. I wasn't sure, because I don't think I've been in here yet, actually. But yeah, you can see the two. Big difference. Alright, the foam's not even on this one. It was probably sucking past all that. There we go. There. Kind of a weird setup. I just tightened this one back down. I didn't have to take it out after all. Make sure those are tight. Make sure it's down all the way around. It looks good. Okay. And I think there's a couple of screws that I didn't have to take out. I wasn't sure which ones held this together, so I think this one goes here and holds it together. And those other two that I took off didn't have to come off. Got nice and tight. And then, so I think this one goes here. Yeah, that one didn't have to come off, and same with this small one here. It didn't look right to me at the time when I was taking it off, but I thought, oh, well, I'll give it a try, and it wasn't right. Okay, so that's nice. Like that. And one of the things I noticed is there's these breather tubes for the carbs right here, and they go into the air cleaner, and you kind of gotta feed this this big tube here. Goes up, and there's a frame, an opening on the frame that you gotta slide this up into, and then you gotta feed these tubes into there and get everything to kind of go together. And I'm just reaching under with my finger, feeding those breather tubes into their little slots. There. I just slid that up a little bit more. Okay, so Allen head bolt goes in here. That one tightens down, and then the other smaller Allen head with a washer goes here. Just reaching under, checking those breather tubes are in place, and then we'll tighten the Allen head down. It holds the whole assembly on. And then a ratchet. Give that a little tighten down. And I think that's tight for that. And then I'll just get the screwdriver and tighten up that air tube deep down in there. So give that a little tighten. There. Air filter change. So this thing's getting a new clean bill of health here. Alright. Okay, it's several days later, and I still haven't put an end to this video yet. So, and then this came in the mail. This is the brake light switch for the front brake for the master cylinder. Because when I was rebuilding it, it ended up getting broken. So I was going to put that on, and I got one more thing. Oh, the signal lights aren't always working. I think it could be the switch, handlebar switch, could be corroded in there. I was going to look into that, and then possibly the blinker solenoid thing, or no, blinker relay, I guess it's called. And so I might look into that and change that. And other than that, this bike's, I think, 100% ready to go on the road, so that's great. And so yeah, I'm just going to throw this on real quick. Okay, I got the bike set up outside here, and just gotta get these factory zip ties out of here. They're kind of nice because you can take them on and off. And then, so I'll just take this off, and then this wire goes down into the headlight, I believe. Yeah. So I'm just gonna pop this headlight off, and then this, yeah. And then there's like a little clip on the top. You kind of gotta, yeah. There you go. Voila. Easy peasy. Actually looks pretty good in there too. It's not full of cobwebs. Alright, let's find out where that plugs into. Just comes through. There it is here. Just double check. Yeah, right there. Okay. Yeah, so this takes a Allen head right in there. You know, this is gonna mess with the angle and stuff, so I'm gonna have to try to get it back in the same spot. I'm not gonna move it. There's more to it than that. Yeah, of course. Oh, there's a big bolt right there. Yeah, so there's this bolt tucked up underneath here. There, now it's loose. Kind of don't want to take it right out because it might be hard to start again. I can just get a little. There we go. Alright, where'd those wires go? Right there. Okay, let's pull this one out. If I pull this one out, there should be at least that much more room in there. There we go. Just took a minute to get that in there. Okay, so that's pulled through. And I think I'll line this up so I get the right length. see these barbs on here? It's got one on each side. There's a hole on the back side here, and then I'm going to push it in and it's just going to pop into that. And then on this side there's a flat spot which is going to rest against the base of this, you know, the body of the master cylinder here. So I'm going to poke this in and then click. It just goes click into place. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in. Here to test how it works. So it's just these little bullet connectors. Just match the colors up. It probably doesn't matter too much if you mix these up, but let's just match it up. Matchy matchy. Okay, I'm gonna get the key. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the bike on. Oh, look at that. Perfect. We'll try the back brake. Yeah, back brake works. Front brake works. Awesome. Well, that was easy. Cool. Okay, so I figured out what was wrong with the signal lights. I feel kind of dumb because I kind of overlooked something. But in my defense, I've been over this bike, working on it for the last like 2 years, on and off, and I never came across. See, I got the signal lights working now, and it ended up only being a fuse, but of course I went the long way in finding that out. I started taking stuff apart and rooting underneath the seat, and had the headlight out and couldn't figure out why there wasn't power getting up to the handlebar switch, and started looking at the wiring diagram, and I'm like, a fuse. I'm like, I don't remember seeing a fuse for the signal lights, and sure enough, there is a fuse box, and it's under here. So the fuse wasn't bad. It was loose in there. So I kind of just bent the little prongs. It's a blade type fuse that goes in there, and so I cleaned everything all up. There's 4 fuses. I think it's headlight, signal lights, and then tail light and engine, I think, underneath this cover. And I thought the fuse would be underneath the seat. Like, there is a main fuse. I knew about that one. And in the back of my head, I was kind of thinking, you know, I haven't seen a fuse panel or anything on this bike, and I don't know, just gapped out. And then when I looked at the wiring diagram, and I was trying to follow the wires, like why isn't, you know, the one that goes up to the handlebar have power? And then it dawned on me that maybe there's something wrong with the fuse. It actually wasn't the fuse. It was the little holder that holds the fuse. So, but whatever, I got it going. And but yeah, check this out. So the bike's ready to go now. So we'll just start it up. Actually, this bike actually has 4-ways, so I can turn on the 4-ways. Yeah, so everything's working now. Oh, and I got the brake light switch fixed. So that's got this one. So all that's working good. Got a horn. That's working good. The wife just ran down to the insurance place. It's a long weekend, and she's worried that it's not going to be open tomorrow, so she went down there last minute. I think they're closed in like half an hour. So she's all excited, and finally, it's been like 2 years in the making, getting this going for her. She's got a couple other bikes that she's been riding, but she really loves this one. Like, she's been dying to run this. she's been dying to ride this one. So yeah, happy wife, happy life, right? So I don't know, maybe I'll get a cheeseburger out of it or something. That's that would be cool. Anyways, so yeah, I'll probably end the video there, and want to thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. I really like getting these videos out to you and stuff. And this one took a little extra long putting it together, just, you know, doing a bit here and there after work and on the weekends, and plus other stuff. And I got this video coming up about the scooter I found, so that's coming out. I'm getting it going, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Center Stand Mechanics out.